Well, hi again, everyone. This is Tim from Cleveland Baseball Fan 879, and this is game number 26 of the 1972 Stratomatic Super Advanced Roberto Clemente Race to 3,000 Hits replay. Essentially, I'm replaying all the games that Roberto Clemente had at least one at bat in the 1972 season, trying to get to 3,000 hits. Today, the Pittsburgh Pirates will host the Montreal Expos, and Bill Stoneman on the mound for the Expos and Bob Moose on the mound for the Pirates. And since this is the first time the Expos are on for this project, I'll go ahead and give you their starting lineup. Leading off and playing shortstop is Tim Foley. Batting second and playing right field is Jim Ferry. Batting third and playing left field is Ken Singleton. Batting cleanup and playing first base is Ron Fairley. I had to kind of enunciate that a little bit. Batting fifth and playing third base is Bob Bailey. A lot of Y last names. Including the next one, the center fielder, Boots Day. The batting seventh is the catcher, John Boccabella. Batting eighth and playing second base is Hector Torres, and batting ninth and pitching is Bill Stoneman. And I'll announce the Pirates lineup as they make plays or come up the bat. All right, and here's the pitch to weather effects. Yes. Night game in Pittsburgh in May. So 1 to 4 good, 5 to 13 average, and 14 to 20 is bad. And that is average weather for Pittsburgh. So we'll be 1 to 11 for ballpark singles. Ballpark home runs 1 to 5 for lefties, 1 to 2 for righties. Now we can get to Tim Foley's at bat. And against the righty, struck him out. 1 away. And here is Jim Ferry. 4 and a 4. Shortstop chance for Jackie Hernandez. And that's not going to make a play. Nope. Yeah. Hernandez is an E64. And an 11. Nope, there's a 12, but no 11, so Hernandez will knock it down, but can't make the play, and Ferry reaches on the infield single. They will not hold him on. Here's Kenny Singleton. Nothing on the 11. There's a pitch to Singleton. And it's a ground ball to first. Stargell to Hernandez will say to Moose covering 3-6-1 double play. And that will retire the side. So the Expos are retired here in the top of the first. We go to the bottom of the first. The Expos won, and the Pirates coming to bat. And so Bill Stoneman in 1972, 12 and 14, 2.98 ERA, and 251 innings pitched, walked 102, struck out 171. So not great, but not terrible. 2.98 ERA is, I'll take that every year. Probably did not get enough offensive support. So here is Dave Cash leading off and playing second base. And that's just a bit outside ball 4, and that's what Stoneman does, unfortunately. He walks a lot. He walks a lot of batters. See, Stoneman's a 0. Boccabella is also 0. So Cash will try to get a jump. He'd be 1 to 13 if he does. 2 to 6 or a 12. He gets picked off on an 8. And, oh boy, that's a 2. So that means balk rating, no balk rating. So Cash cannot get the lead, even though he got the 6. But the 2 overrides that. If it was a 1, then he'd be a chance to be picked off. But no balk, so we will hold Cash at first. Here's Vic Davalio, the left fielder. Nothing on the 5. Do that again. And that's trouble. 1 to 2 is a double. And runners on the corners with nobody out. For Roberto Clemente, nothing on the 11. And here's a pitch to Clemente. And against a righty, 1 to 5 single chance. If not, it's a ground ball to third. Runner would score. No, so ground ball to third. They get Davalillo at second. Let me make sure of this real quick. I'm pretty sure the run from third scores. First and third, ground ball B. Other runners advance 1 base. Okay, I thought so. All right, so Cash scores from third. Clemente reaches on the fielder's choice. 1-0 Pirates. So Clemente sort of does his job, beating the throw to first. And here's a Willie Stargell, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Nothing on the 10. Here's a pitch to Stargell. And swung on and missed, struck him out. 2 down, and here's Al Oliver. Nothing on the 6. Six and a 3. And against the lefty, that's a weak grounder to second. And Torres throws out Oliver, and that retires the side. But the Pirates draw first blood, or score first, I guess we could say. I don't know if we want to use that term now. And we go to the top of the second, leading 1-0. All right, and due up. Here's Ron Fairley to lead off the top of the second. And here's the pitch to Ron Fairley. Oh boy, 1 to 5. This ball will be gone. And Ron Fairley has just tied the game. Ballpark home run, 1 to 5, and that's a 2. And he does have normal power, so quickly, just that quickly, we have a tie game. And here's Bob Bailey. No, he would not go on to sing lead for Guns N' Roses. And that's a second base chance for Cash. He's a 2. 16 is fine. And 8 and an 8, no. So that's a grounder to second. And that retires Bailey. 1 away. Here's Boots Day, who I believe is still active on Facebook. I've seen him post a few times. Now, this is a completely different Boots Day. And that's swung on and missed, struck him out. Second strikeout for Moose. And here is John Boccabella. Oops, don't need to have it roll. And that's a pop-up. Second baseman Cash calls for it, and that retires the side. But the Fairley home run ties the game at 1. And Richie Hebner due up to lead off the bottom of the second. Okay, 1 and a 3. Ground ball to first. That's Fairley over to Stoneman. 1 away. Here's Manny Sanguillen. Oops, and we'll redo that. Two and a 6. Tapper back to the mound. And the reversal will happen. Stoneman to Fairley. 2 away. And here's Jackie Hernandez. And that's a shortstop. Chance Foley is a 2. 20 is fine. He is an E29. Oh boy, E29, 16. 11, 3, 17, and 18. No 16, so Foley rushes. It's in the dirt. Nice pick by Fairley, and that retires the side. So 3 up, 3 down here in the second. We go to the third, tied at 1. And here's Hector Torres, the second baseman, to lead off the top of the third. I think this camera angle that I'm using right now, I did use another one a couple games ago, but I just like the fact that these are close enough. You can see the cards, you know, like that as is, and plus it's a little closer. The camera's a little closer. I removed a layer from my tower that I used to film. So I think this is going to be the way it's going to be for a while. Here's Hector Torres. And third base chance for Richie Hebner. He's a 3. Range. Ooh, 3 and a 3. I don't think he's going to be able to get it. No. Hebner is an E12. E12 and a 12. And there is a 12, so this will be a single and an error. So compounding his mistake, Hebner throws it away. And on second base is Torres. And here's Stoneman. They are expecting a bunt. He is an A bunter, and we will lay one down. 2, Balker pass ball chance. Pass ball Sanguillen is a 1-2. Not on the 7. So, all right. So we will bunt here. We get the sacrifice bunt chart out. All right. So Stoneman, they're expecting it will be a B bunter. 6 means it goes to the third baseman. And is that a 3? Being a 3. Excellent bunt by Stoneman. Third baseman comes in. We'll call that a 5-4 sacrifice. Going to third is Torres. And, you know, I think the Pirates are going to play the infield in with 1 out here in the top of the third. Nothing on the 8. Here's Foley. Struck out his first time up. 2 and a 12. And he hit him. Not playing injuries because this is as played. I'm not doing I won't do the thing where he comes out for the game. So not playing injuries. So first and third, infield's still in. Actually, no, we're going to play the infield back now for try to get double play. Nothing on the 15. Here's Ferry. Three and a 9. Fly ball to right field. Clemente. Torres runs at a 12. He gets a 2 extra. Clemente's a -5. They will put the stop sign up. They will say, do not go. Clemente 1 bounces at the home plate. With cheers from the Three Rivers faithful. So 2 down. Runners on first and third as Clemente saved a run there with his throwing arm. Nothing on the 9. Those extra innings, and they needed a run. I might do it, but not in the third inning. Here's Singleton. And, oh, since there is a runner in scoring position, we've had this before in this replay. If it's the Omega with a hit, it becomes an out with a pop-up. And since he's batting left-handed, I'll say that's a pop-up to Willie Stargell. And that retires the side. So we go to the bottom of the third, tied at 1. All right, and Stoneman will face his pitching counterpart, Bob Moose, and then back to the top of the order, Cash and Davalillo. Moose using pitcher in card number 2. And right-handed hitter, absolutely. And Moose, patient, draws a walk. Second walk for Stoneman. And here's Dave Cash. Not exactly looking to bunt here. Nah. Although, might not be a bad idea. 1 to 3, they're looking for the bunt. 4 to 6, they are not. They are looking for the bunt, so we will not bunt. He'd be a D-bunter. Okay, so play the corners in, I guess. So we're looking for the bunt. Havoc roll. Nothing on the 8. And wouldn't have mattered. Stoneman walks him. So back-to-back walks, including the second one on the day for Cash. And here's Vic Davalillo. And nothing on the 14, and I am not bunting here. Three and a 6, struck him out. Big strikeout for Stoneman, getting Davalillo. And here's Roberto Clemente, grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up. Nothing on the 16. Here's pitch to Clemente. 3 and a 4. Ballpark single, 1 to 11. And that's a 5, so Clemente gets one just past the shortstop, but everybody can only move up 90 feet. So 82 hits now for Clemente to 3,000. And here's Willie Stargell. Oh boy, not the guy you really want up with the bases loaded. Havoc roll. Nothing on the 16. Here's Stargell. And they're, ground ball to second. That's Torres to Foley to Fairley, inning-ending double play. Wonder if that will give a lift to the Expos here. Going to the top of the 4th, tied at 1. Golden chance for the Pirates goes by the wayside. And Moose will have to face the middle of the order, Fairley, Bailey, and Day. Here's Ron Fairley. Homered his first time up. Could he do it again? 1 to 4. No, but that's one hops the wall and into second with a double is Fairley. Halfway to the cycle. There's a slight chance for a triple on one of these, but we'll see. All right, so they will not hold Fairley on. Nothing on the 16. Here's Bob Bailey. And it's a ground ball to short. And Hernandez looks back fairly, throws to first, and that retires Bailey. And here's Boots Day, struck out his first time up. Nothing on the 11. And it's a ground ball to second. This time, a runner will advance to third, but there are 2 outs for John Bocabella, or Bocabella. Nothing on the 5. And once again, the anti-clutch coming in to ruin the Expos rally. That will be for a right-handed batter. That will say it's popped up. Third baseman Hebner in fair territory makes the catch, and that retires the side. We go to the bottom of the 4th, excuse me. 1-1. And Stoneman will face Oliver, Hebner, and Sanguian. All right, and here's Oliver. Here's the pitch to Oliver. 4 and an 8. And that's just a bit outside ball 4. 4th walk for Stoneman. And here's Richie Hebner. Nothing on the 16. Here's Hebner. And second base chance, they were not holding on. Oliver, they probably should have. No, they shouldn't have. Okay, so not holding on. So second baseman Torres keeps his 3 range. 10 will be fine. 3. Yeah. Now can you avoid the E28? That should be fine on a 7. Yes. So they get Oliver at second, but the return throw not in time to get Hebner. 1 away, and here's Manny Sanguian. Nothing on the 3. Here's Sanguian. And we'll do that again. And that's a ground ball to the shortstop. They get Hebner at second, but Sanguian will beat the return throw. 2 away for Jackie Hernandez. And here's a pitch to Hernandez. 1-9 single chance. And that's a 5, so Will Squibber gets through. Sanguian will go to second for Bob Moose. Pitcher hitting card number 2. Right-handed hitter. And here's a pitch to Moose. Walked his first time up. And that will not happen this time. Ooh, almost got the walk, but grounded to short. And that is Foley retiring Moose, and that will retire the side. And we are through 4, tied at 1. Pitchers duel here at Three Rivers Stadium. Both were good pitchers, Moose and Stoneman. Moose in 1972 went 13-10 with a 2.91 ERA and 1 save. All right, so here's Hector Torres to lead off the top of the 5th. He singled his first time up. And he draws a walk, so Torres gets on base both times, and that's good if you're the Expos, because once again, the Pirates will be expecting a bunt, and Stoneman will try to lay one down. Nothing on the 18. And he squares around. It will be a B bunter. One is back to the mound, back to the mound. 9 on a B. Ooh, just gets it down. Hard bunt, but we'll get it down and Moose over to Cash covering. And that will retire Stoneman, but going to second is Torres for Tim Foley. Foley struck out and hit by a pitch in 2 appearances. Nothing on the 15. And that's a bouncer to first. And we'll say that Stargell takes it himself. 2 away. Torres will go to third. But there are 2 outs. For Jim Ferry, he actually gains a hit on a 3-7, not loses a hit. So let's see if the Expos can finally get a clutch run here. Nothing on the 8. All right, here's a pitch to Ferry. 2 and an 8 field goal roll there. Between a single and between 2 singles, that's a ground ball to second, and Cash retires Ferry to retire the side. So Moose wiggling himself in and out of trouble here, but he's only given up the 1 run. So through 4.5, we are tied at 1. And top of the order for the Pirates, Cash, Davalillo, and Clemente. All right, here is Cash. Six and a 9. Struck him out. So Dave Cash playing his best 2026 baseball with a walker, a strikeout. And here's Vic Davalillo, singled and struck out in 2 appearances. 2 and a 10, and that's a base hit for Davalillo. And they will definitely try to get a jump with him. Gets it on the 4, nothing the rest. On the 9, nothing on the 11. So they will hold Davalillo on. Brings up Roberto Clemente. Nothing on the 12. Singled and grounded to a fielder's choice in 2 appearances. 4 and a 3. First base chance for Fairley. Now, he is responsible for holding the runner on, so he would be a 3 range. So Fairley is now a 3. 3 and an 8. And that will be a base hit because he is responsible for holding the runner on. If he had been a 2 range, he would have got it, but a 3 range means it will get through. Oh boy, it'll skip off of him. Fairley is an E11 and a 16. No, 6, 8, 15, 3, and 18. So that will be a single 2 stars. So Clemente with his second hit of the day moves Davalillo to third as he snuck it by Fairley, who was holding Davalillo on. Here's Willie Stargell, grounded into a double play and struck out. He needs a big hit here. Nothing on 16. 3 and a 5. Walks as good as a hit. That will load the bases for Al Oliver. Nothing on the 18. Three and a 6. And that will get the job done. 1 to 12. 3, triple threes. 1 to 12 is a double. The rest is a single. It won't matter much. That will get through. Scoring from third is Davalillo. Scoring from second is Clemente. Going to third is Stargell. And the Pirates retake the lead 3-1. So Oliver comes through with a big hit, and here's Richie Hebner. Nothing on the 4. Here's the pitch to Hebner. 3 and a 4. And that's a ground ball to second. Torres to Foley to Fairley. Another inning-ending double play. But the Pirates do retake the lead 2-1 going to the top of the 6th. Let's see if the Pirates can actually hold this lead for more than a half inning. Singleton, Fairley, and Bailey. Singleton 0 for 2. Grounded to a double play and popped out. Here's the pitch to Singleton. And that's a ground ball to the shortstop, Hernandez. 19 is okay. Now you just got to avoid the E64. And a 9. Unfortunately, cannot do that. So Singleton reaches on the air. And Hernandez made a ton of those. They will hold on Singleton. He'd be 1 to 11 if he tries to get a jump, and I'm not going to try. Stole 5, got caught 10 times, and that 7 and 8 kind of worries me a little bit. So not with nobody out, maybe with 1 out, I might give it a shot. Here's Ron Fairley. Well, when your next guy up has a double and a homer in 2 attempts, you're not going to try to steal. Nothing on the 8s. And here's Fairley. Five and a 7. And that's a base hit to left field. So we were holding on Singleton. Makes him a 13. That ball goes to left field. Yes, so that'd be, subtract 2 more, 1 to 11. And Davalillo is a +1, 1 to 12. They'll put the stop sign up there. So Fairley is a triple away from the cycle. Clemente got in one of the games earlier. Spoiler alert. Here's Bob Bailey. First and second, holding all runners. Nothing on the 10. Bailey 0 for 2, 2 groundouts. 1-7, he draws a walk. So Moose is in big trouble here. It will bring the infield in. For Boots Day. Nothing on the 3. Two and an 11. So infield in, ground ball C. Guessing they get the runner at home. Better safe. Lead runner is out. So that's 3 to 2 on the put out at home to get Singleton. Yeah, everybody moves up on the fielder's choice. bases remain loaded, but with one out, the infield will remain in for John Boccabella, twice popped up to an infielder. Nothing on the 18. Here's Boccabella. Infield remains in. Five and a 3. Pitcher chance. Moose is a 2. And a 9, that's fine. And Moose is an E13. Oh boy, E13 and a 12. No, they hit the field goal there, 11 and 13. So G3, infield in, bases loaded, so they'll get the lead runner again. So they tried to start the double play. Actually, we'll say it's just wide of the pitcher's mound. Nice play to get the runner at home, 1-2. That's all they'll get. And infield back to normal for Hector Torres. Singled and walked in 2 times up. And nothing on the 17. And here's the pitch to Torres. And that's a fly ball to center field. Oliver says he has it. And that retires the side. Excellent work by Moose. The fans give him a big hand getting out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam. Thanks to 2 plays at the plate. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Bottom third of the order, Sanguillen, Hernandez, and Moose. And here's Sanguillen, 0 for 2, hit to a fielder's choice and grounded out. And that's a ground ball to third. And Bailey retires Sanguillen, 1 away. And here's Jackie Hernandez. And that's a fly ball to center field. And Day tracks it down, 2 away, and that brings up the pitcher, Moose. 0 for 1 with a walk. Oops, we'll redo that one. I kind of messed that one up. Okay. 4 and a 4. Catcher chance for Boccabella. He's a 3. 3 and a 3. That is a WG. Oh boy. And Boccabella is an E13 and a 15. There's a 15, so let's see what a WG is with an error. Just if it wasn't, let's see. So this just would have been, if with a runner on, would have been a wild pitch. If not, would have been a squibber. But now it's a squibber. Batter to first, and that's it. So Boccabella makes an error. He throws it wide of first. And Moose reaches on the error. So both teams have both made an error. Here's Dave Cash. Nothing on the 11. 4 and an 11. Righty left field chance. Singleton's a 4. Nope, that's not going to get the job done. 4 and a 3. Ooh, double 2 stars. Let's see if they makes an error. Singleton is an E8. Oh boy, E8 and a 14. No, 15, 16, 17, and 18, but no 14. 3 and a 3, so that at least keeps them from getting the third base, but 2 out double for Cash. Going to third is Moose. And here's Vic Davalio. 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Nothing on the 8. 1 and a 5. Single to 3. Not on the 10. So bouncer to third. Easy play there for Bailey. And that retires the side. We go to the 7th inning. 2-1. I'm sorry. Whoops. Scratch that. How about 3-1? Sorry, they scored 2 runs that inning. 3-1. My mistake there. I know most of you are going to be at the end of the video. You didn't put down the 2. Yeah, I recognized it. It's okay. I'm sure you haven't played long enough, and if you made a scoring error at some point. All right. I'm going to take a timeout and see how many batters that Stoneman faced per start and see if I want to actually 7th inning down 2 runs. I'll be right back. All right. So Stoneman on the year faced about 29 batters per game. I know I'm kind of using an inside pitch analogy here, but I think it's kind of the right move to replace him. There's a 2-run deficit. They need to get something going, and Stoneman's not that good of a hitter, so he will be taken out. And we'll go with either Joe Gilbert or John Strohmeyer in the bullpen. And pinch hitting for the Expos. Down by 2. We'll go with Ron Hunt. So Ron Hunt will hit for Stoneman. So if you want to figure out how many batters a pitcher faces per game, just divide their Baseball Reference has a BF column for batters faced. Just divide that by the number of games that he pitched and number of games he played in, and there you go. So Hunt will bat for Stoneman here in the top of the 7th. All right, here's Hunt. 3 and an 8, and he walked him. Okay, so here's Tim Foley. It was a 1-run game. I bun him over, but not in a 2-run game. Although you might be better off. Okay, 1-3, he will bunt. 4-6, he will not. Okay, he will. Now, 1-3, the Pirates are expecting it. 4-6, they are not. They are not expecting it, so Foley will be an A bunter after the Havoc roll. Not on the 3. So Foley will be bunting. Oh boy. B bunter 4. Okay, so that's not the first baseman 9. So we'll just say that he say that's 3 unassisted. And going to second is, I guess you got to get runners in scoring position anyway. So here's Ferry. Nothing on the 20. That is a free out technically. All right. One and a 6, fly ball to left field. 2 away. Here is Ken Singleton. Nothing on the 12. Here's Singleton. And that's just a bit outside ball 4. So 2 out walk. That is 4 walks for Moose. 2 down here in the top of the 7th for Ron Fairley. With a triple, he could hit for the cycle. He would have to do it off of Moose's card, but he does not have a triple against a lefty, so he will not likely get it. All right, Havoc roll first. Nothing on the 4. 6 and a 7. That's a second base chance for Cash. We were not holding any runners. Cash is a 2 and a 3. He comes up with it because he's not responsible for holding any runners on. And 8 and an 11. Nice diving stop by Cash. Gets up, throws him out, and that retires the side. So, Expos are retired here in the top of the 7th. Stretch time here at Three Rivers. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, for it's root for your favorite team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. We will go with John Strohmeyer to come in and pitch for all right. And here's the pitch to Clemente. 2 for 3, 2 singles and reached on a fielder's choice. Two and an 8. And how about 3 hits on the day? That's a base hit in the left field. So Clemente cranking it up, now needs 80 hits for 3,000. Here's Willie Stargell. Nothing on the 20. So we'll redo that. All right, Stargell fouls it off, and we'll redo that again. 4 and an 8. And against the lefty, that's a fly ball to center field. And Day tracks it down, 1 away. 0 for 3 with a walk for Stargell. Here's Oliver. Huge hit the last time, up 2-run single. Nothing on the 6. And it's a fly ball again to center field. And Boots Day once again will make the catch. 2 away for Richie Hebner. Let's see if we can make this 3 for 3 for Day here. Not a runner in scoring position, so that single will stand. Going to third is Clemente. And here's Manny Sanguillen, who's had multiple clutch hits in this replay. Nothing on the 12. Six and an 8. And the clutch hits will continue. 1 to 2, that's a triple. 3 to 20 is a single. And that will drop in for a hit. Scoring from third is Clemente. The third goes Hebner. 4 to 1, the Pirates lead. And And we'll leave Hernandez in. Up 4-1. All right, Havoc roll. Nothing on the 6. Here's Hernandez. 5 and an 8. Struck him out. He is not tired. And that will retire the side. But the Pirates extend their lead to 4-1, going to the top of the 8th. And this will likely be, I don't know, we'll see about Moose. If he's, and I'll take a timeout here for Bob Moose's average length of batters here. All right, I think this will be the last inning for Moose. In the real game, he only faced 30 batters, and he's already faced 31, so probably running on fumes, but he says, Coach, lead me in. We've got a 3-run lead. Bruce Keeson and Bob Johnson are loosening in the bullpen. All right, here's Bob Bailey, 0 for 2 with a walk. So we'll redo that. 5 and a 6. Struck him out. And here's Boots Day. Day 0 for 3 with a fielder's choice. And that's a tapper to first. Sturgill takes it to the bag himself, 2 away. And here's Bocabella. 0 for 2 with a fielder's, 0 for 3 with a fielder's choice. And that's once again struck him out. So Moose, I think that's, you know, 1972 baseball, they're going to leave him in. Strohmeyer will stay in. And they will let Moose hit. They'll probably have him on a very short leash going into the 9th. Here's a pitch to Moose. 6 and a 6 against a righty. And he draws a walk. Second walk Moose has drawn today. He's actually reached base 3 times thanks to an error. And they will hold him on, but he has good speed, actually. Nothing on the 8. Here's Cash. Swinging away here. He is 1 for 2 with 2 walks and a double. 5 and a 5. Fly ball to center field. 1 away. Here's Vic Davalillo. Nothing on the 6. And that's a fly ball to center field. 2 away. For Roberto Clemente, 5th at bat today, 3 for 4. Nothing on the 4. And that's his 4th hit of the day, single to center field. Moose runs out of 14, was not being held on, makes him a 15. 2 outs makes him a 17. Center fielder is Day. He is a -2, so he'd be 1 to 15. They're going to send him to third. They will throw through. 1 to 15, and Moose makes it to third. And he's in just ahead of the tag. And Clemente reaches second on the throw. Here's Willie Stargell, 0 for 3 with a walk. 16. Three and a 7 struck him out. And that retires the side. We go to the top of the 9th. 4-1 lead for the Pirates. And Bob Moose getting a nice hand coming out. He has faced 34 batters. They're going to let him try to finish the game. Hector Torres, then a pinch hitter, and Tim Foley. Here's Hector Torres. Let's see here. Dave Justy is loosening in the bullpen. So this is still a save situation. One and a 7. Ground ball to the shortstop. Hernandez retires Torres, 1 away. And your pinch hitter will be Ron Woods. The hit for Strohmeyer. All right, here is Ron Woods. 1 and a 7. Field goal roll there. Ground ball to the shortstop. And Woods is retired, 2 away. Last chance for the Expos is Tim Foley, who is 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch and a sacrifice. 6 and an 8. And this game will continue. Triple and a 1, single to rest. Single. And that will be, let's see here. They'll let him try to get Ferry here. If not, then they will bring in Justy. Nothing on the 8. He had retired 7 in a row before that. So 3 and a 10. Ballpark single. 1 to 11. And nice diving stop by the second baseman. We'll say it's a line drive to the second baseman. He shows it the glove, and that's your ball game. Final score from Three Rivers Stadium, 4-1, and we'll be back with the details. All right, 4 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for the Pirates. 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error for the Expos. Bob Moose goes the distance and gets the win. Bill Stoneman, your I won't say hard luck loser, but your losing pitcher. And Roberto Clemente, 4 for 5, reached base all 5 times, but that means 79 more hits in 307 plate appearances. All right, the next game will be probably be a continuation against the Montreal Expos, so stay tuned. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. Please leave a like. It helps the video to be seen. If you like to leave a comment, please do so. And if you have not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and enable notifications. You'll be able to see whenever a video gets uploaded. And whatever game you are playing, please enjoy it to your fullest. Have a good day, everybody.